Today we're going to do a Chuan class. So let's go ahead and get into your fighting stance, whatever fighting stance you're comfortable in. Hands up. Go ahead and tuck the head down, chin to the chest, shoulders up. I'll start off with a front jab. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, widen my stance up a little bit, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, so after the jab, I add a right cross. I'm going to do 20 of those. As this hand's coming back, this one's coming out. Whenever you punch with the jab, you should push off the ball of your foot, bringing the heel up, and your heel should go down and push off your other foot as you throw the reverse punch or the cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, after the cross, I'm going to add a left hook. For this one, I like to keep my elbow tied to my hip, turn, and let your body do all the work for that hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, after the hook, I'm going to add an uppercut. Excuse me. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, I want to drop down to a 10 count, add some kicks in. Maybe come down with a little bit of a cold, so you'll have to ignore me if I'm coughing a little bit. Okay. After the jab, cross, hook, uppercut, we'll throw a roundhouse or a wheel kick. We call it a wheel kick in the Chuan style. Only difference being our roundhouse is straight parallel across, whereas our wheel kick comes at an angle, 45 degrees usually, so we don't do that complete chamber up here like you would with a roundhouse kick. Rather, just keeping it in really tight. Okay, let's do 10 of those. 1, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, wheel kick. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, from the wheel kick, I'll just turn the leg a little bit and throw a snap kick without setting down. So it'll be wheel kick, snap kick. All right, let's do to the count of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, now we're going to add a jump kick, but we'll drop down to 5. So after that wheel kick and the snap kick, you're going to jump up, change legs, and do a snap kick off the left foot. So it should look like, we call that a chicken kick in this style. I've also seen it called a scissor kick. Call it whatever your style, whatever is more comfortable to you. Okay, I want to drop down to 5 and add the chicken kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, after we land, I want to throw a left back fist. We'll keep 5 throughout. Almost done with this drill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the last technique in this combination, after the back fist, we'll do a vertical punch, basically aiming for the chin off the back foot. Normally, I would say yoke or do your kia on this last punch every time. I can't run it right now, but try to really go out on force on that last technique. Okay, last 5, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, should be good and warm now. Let's go ahead and put the left leg back, right leg forward, hands up. Want to do stretch kicks, so just lift your leg up in front of you as high as you can, 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, grab onto something for balance. Excuse me. Could be a wall, could be a chair, whatever you got. We're just going to do We're going to do 2 types of sideways leg slings today. A lot of people don't realize that there are 2 stretches there and tend to neglect one muscle. You can see it in the front splits. If you're doing a front split, try keeping your toes pointed forward and your toes pointed up. Usually you can go a lot further one way than you can the other. For me, I can go a lot further, my toes pointed up, and I might demonstrate that at the end of the class. So for now, when you do a side kick, keep your toes pointed forward, so don't let them point towards the sky. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Other side. Same kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Other side. Or sorry, we go back to this side, but this time instead of the toes pointing forwards, I'm going to point it up towards the ceiling. 1, 2, 3. It's easier to do without the bag, I think. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, next let's do rear stretches. So go ahead and grab on. You're going to lift your leg up as high as you can behind you. 1, 2. Try to keep your legs straight and don't let it bend too much. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, we should be warmed up, stretched out. Next, let's get into our stances. For those of you who have done Chuan Kyle, let's go ahead and run through the stances real quick. Sorry about that. Let's do a formal stance. Just means heels together, toes out. Informal, just how you would normally stand outside. But add attention. Do try to keep your back straight. Notice my posture's been slouched here lately. I'm working on that a little bit. Try to keep your back straight. From there, I have a horse stance. In Chuan Kyle, we have 2. So we have the regular horse stance, which is fairly narrow, pretty shallow. Then we have deep horse, where we actually get down into stance. Okay. From deep horse, we also have side horse. So if you hear like side horse left facing, it means left side of your body should be facing the instructor or the opponent. You're in a horse stance facing them. So side horse right facing, same thing. We have a modified side horse. You just take a step forward. Same thing on the other side. Have a hard bow where we turn. This is a little different than the northern wushu hard bow, or what you would see in more performance-based wushu. Because in those you would be in horse stance and turn into a bow stance, whereas here we modify it and it's closer to the forward stance in karate, maybe with the front knee not being quite as far though. Okay, and then from the hard bow stance we have a soft bow, where we just step forward a little bit and we're more relaxed, kind of like the ready stance from Jeet Kune Do, where you bounce back and forth. You got both legs bent, ready to go, or if we just jumped out of the way of something. And then we also have the cross stance. I like to put my knee on the inside of my other knee and just rest it there. And on the other side. So those are our yellow belt stances. Let's start off with some basic punches like you would do in any style. So let's get down to horse stance. Left hand out, single punches. Let's do these at head height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Next, let's do double punches. Let's go to solar plexus height. So double punches just means 2 punches. 1, 2, 3. Try to keep that stance good. Keep those heels out. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Next, we'll do triple punches. So we'll do groin, solar plex, nose. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, next we'll do a back fist punch. So we'll stay in a horse stance. Look to your right, hand up to block your face. You can chamber if you want. Going out, hit with the back of the fist, and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to go ahead and show you just do 3 times a fun little checking drill we do sometimes to help as a speed exercise. And what we'll do is we'll tap on our chest with our hand. And as we strike out, we'll hit the muscle right behind the shoulder, kind of with our thumb. It kind of helps retract it. Hit it even without that muscle pulling back, so it speeds that back when it comes back. So it hits here, goes out, hit, and then comes back and hits again. So to look at it, it's really quick, and that popping sound sometimes works as a distraction. This is from kenpo Chuan. It's one of the reasons they call it the slapping dart. So we've got that little bit of checking in there, right? Throws people off. So let's do that on the other side. 1. You might want to start slow because you can really sting yourself, leave yourself bruised if you're not careful. 2, and 3. Other side. 1, 2, and 3. And as you notice, I kind of like to lean into mine. Just a little bit of that long fist technique helps range, especially since I'm only 5'4". But you don't want to overlean and get off balance, because if you're fighting a judo guy or someone like that, they'll throw you easily. Make sure you can stay over your center of gravity. Okay, so let's move on to a couple more punches. We've done some punches in the kickboxing drill warm up, so I'm just going to show you what those are, and we'll move past those because I've got a lot of techniques to do today. So we have a forward punch or a jab, which just means punching off the front leg. We have a reverse punch or a cross, which just means punch off the back leg. Now, we also have a head high twisting punch, which is more specific, meaning it comes from head height and it twists as it punches. We say that because a reverse punch could be a reverse back fist, it could be a reverse vertical punch, it could be a reverse straight punch. It doesn't have to be a twisting head height. And when we do our twisting head height punch, we're not always just trying to turn the shoulder for power. What we're trying to do is hit chest or some sort of skin and then twist to rip the skin as we push through. It's just slightly different from your regular boxing punch and kind of hard to pull off, honestly. It's easier just to do the boxing punch. But if you're more skilled than the person you're fighting or sparring, it may be a technique worth trying. Okay. We did the vertical punches, so let's do a twisting reverse vertical punch. So reverse vertical, again, meaning it comes off the back. Twisting means it's going to twist. But in the twisted reverse vertical punch, we over twist it completely upside down, and it's a hard trick to do. The best example I've seen, if you want to see it in film, is in Jet Li's Fearless. He uses this punch to explode the heart, or to choose not to explode the heart in another part of the film. If you haven't seen that film, it's great. They use this punch as one of the kill techniques, and what it does essentially is it looks like it's coming straight, and they've got their guard up, and then it twists and has a tendency to go right between the guard and strike your target anyway, because it just changes directions there at the last second. It gets in a lot. One thing I don't like about it is it also puts you way off here to the side in sort of an unbalanced position. So let's try to negate that, stay into a better stance, and throw that punch 10 times on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now let's look at some punches, starting from just a street stance or a ready stance. The first one I'll do is, these punches are mostly out of Kung Fu. This one's going to be a roundhouse punch. A little different than the hook. You're going to step up, throw the arm out, and bend it tightly back to the chest. And this works really well on someone that has their guard just a little too far out, because with that arm there, what you can do is you step up, tap them on the chin, and trap the arm with that movement, and then you have your back fist or your wrapping range if you want that. If not, you can push off and go back into your striking. So let's do 10 of those on each side. Again, step up and strike. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For stances on this, you can twist either into that modified side horse, or you can step up further and twist completely into a side horse. 6. I think I like that side horse just a little bit better. Feels like it gets a bit more of a powerful swing. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, next we have the reverse roundhouse punch, which is just the complete opposite. You step up with your hand at the waist, either all the way in a side stance or a modified. I think I want to stick in a modified for this one. You're going to spin your waist out and come out with a reverse roundhouse punch. It differs from the back fist. The back fist is usually, well, the back fist literally just means hitting with the back of the fist, actually. You can hit a back fist over here, up here, down here. It's all back fist. This one winds up and uses a lot more hip motion. It's not so worried about getting the strike in with the fist per se. It's more of a forearm strike. You're coming here and breaking into there, trying to move their guard out of the way. So if they've got their hands up and you can't get through, you just knock it completely out of the way and come from the side. Setting up a follow-up hit, you're not necessarily going to hit with it. Okay, so you step up and swing out. 1, important part here is learn to use your hips, reversing them, and swinging them out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, now I'll alter this slightly. We get the overhead roundhouse punch. Start the same except for instead of coming across sideways, I'm going to come from overhead and downward. And hope here is come between the guard. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, one more. The sideways vertical punch. Sideways vertical punch starts at your hips, steps up almost in a straight line, spin into a side horse, and throw that vertical punch up waist high. We use it a lot of times when we grab the hand and step up and hit underneath the arm or into the rib cage. But the main advantage with this punch is reach. It's one of the reasons I like it. It's because with a standard punch, if I'm out of range, well, if I turn into a side horse and turn that into a vertical, suddenly I've got a few more inches. So I can hit a target I couldn't hit in a square boxing stance. So I get a little more push through, and that's really good if I can push and drive through at the same time. So let's do 10 of those on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so to end off, let's do our blocks. To practice our blocks, the fastest way that we have found to teach them, in Chuan, also known as kenpo, their way to do this is to teach a form called star blocks. So I want to get into a horse stance. I want to start with an upper block. So an upper block, I was taught 2 different ways to do it. I'll show you both, let you choose what you prefer. One way is you can keep your arm barred and come up, blocking everything, getting more coverage in the whole body, but it's a little bit slow. Or you can do an uppercut until your fist reaches the nose and turn your hand over at the last second. And I seem to get more speed that way. That's the way I prefer. But if you prefer that extra coverage, you might like just swinging it straight up like that. So we start with an upper block. From the upper block, we're going to move to an inward block. The inward block comes from the ear inward towards the nose. I like to think of it as grab something behind your head and bring it around to look at it. It's the easiest way to learn that motion. So you go from upper block to inward block. From that inward block, move it back to an outward block. And if you watch some of my other videos, you know that whenever we do an outward block, sometimes we bring that out and we grab the hand. In this style, that's called an extended outward block. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an upward block, an inward block, an outward block, and an extended outward block. From there, we're going to circle it around into a downward block. And then we repeat that whole sequence on the other side. So it's an upward block, followed by an inward block, to an outward block, to an extended outward block, and a downward block. Okay, so let's do that from the beginning. Do whatever opening you're comfortable with. Set down into a horse stance. Do it up, in. I'll do outward to extended outward all in one motion before I do my downward block. And then I switch sides. Pretty easy, right? One more time. All right. After we do all of those blocks, we learn a palm reverse hand block, which is a way of blocking a kick, where we just take our hand, palm down, bring our forearm across to block the kicks there. We also have a palm up reverse hand block, which is the same thing, but with the palm facing upwards. We often use it in things like kick block, where if it's a really powerful kick and we're not sure one block will stop it, we'll use a stop hand followed by a block. Not the way I would recommend stopping a kick, but it is one of the things that we teach. Okay, so we got upper block, inward block, outward to extended outward, and downward. And then we switch sides. After that, we do both sides at the same time, actually. Same thing, just both hands. I'll start on our left side and do a palm reverse hand block. Then our right hand, palm reverse hand block. Left hand, palm up reverse hand block. And then the same thing on the other side. So we got up, inward block, outward block, extended outward block, downward block. Other side, both sides. Palm reverse hand block, palm up reverse hand block. Next block's real simple, it's just a downward press, very little, you just press downward. So if someone grabs their hand on your chest or something, you just push it down off of you. That's it. And that is the last block. And we're just going to end off with some straight punches and some elbows. So we get into stance, it's upper block, inward block, outward block, extended outward block, and downward block. Other side, upper block, inward block, outward, extended outward, and downward. Both sides, up, in, out, and down. Left side, reverse hand block. Right side, reverse hand block. Left side, palm up, reverse hand block. Right side, palm up, reverse hand block. Left side, downward press. Right side, downward press. From here, we're going to do a double punch, straight forwards. We're going to do a double punch at 45-degree angles. We're going to do a double punch at 90-degree angles. We're going to do a left elbow upwards, a right elbow upwards, salutations, and bring it back up. And that is the Star Blocks form. It teaches all of our yellow belt blocks in a real quick, simple form. It's our first form. So let's go ahead and do that 3 times real quick. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that covers our stances, our punches, and our blocks. We didn't get to our kicks today, or the second form. I might do that in another class here soon. Let's go ahead and end off with some relaxed stretching. So put your elbows twice the length of your legs twice the length of your shoulders. Grab your elbows and hang down. We're about to count of 10. Let's go over to your left side. And the other side. Go, bring your legs a little further apart and back down the middle. Over to the left. Over to the right. Okay, let's sit down. Put this leg out. Keep this leg linked here and try to push it out into the ground. I want to hold that for a count of 10. Bring it up. Switch sides. Bring it up. Back to the middle. Reach forward. Grab your toes. Keep your legs straight. And back. Spread the legs and put your hands on the floor and try to bring your elbows down to the floor if you can. When more advanced, you can bring your nose all the way to the floor. At first, what I recommend doing is starting on your fingertips. Go from your fingertips to your palms. Once you can reach down to your palms, go down to your forearms. If you can get that far and hold it for a minute or two, don't go further yet. Go back up to where you started, put your palms down, and curl your fingers in to move one hand space forward, and then do the drill again. Okay, let's bring the right hand up and lean over the left leg. And on the other side. Okay, I said I would end off showing you that you can stretch further one way than you can the other. So let's do that real quick. I'm going to start my toes facing forwards, trying to do a side split. And once I get there, it's very uncomfortable going further, which isn't very far. But as soon as I turn my feet up, I get quite an increased range in that stretch. Not really, because if you were looking this way, it wouldn't look like it, right? But I can't turn my toes forward and stay here. I gotta turn them up. So that's one thing, you might try your splits both ways if you're having trouble with your flexibility. Also do your front split, of course. If you can't do a front split, which most people can't, what you want to do is start on one knee, put your heel on the floor, hold your hands out, and just let that front foot slide further until you get more comfortable with it. For me, it's really uncomfortable when I start trying to stretch out this back leg. So let's hold that front split for about 10 seconds. And switch sides. Again, the easiest way I find to do it is to get on my knees, put this heel up with the toes facing forward, slide that. Sometimes I gotta lean over a little bit to straighten that back leg, and then try to bring back to the center and hold that for 10 seconds. Hurts a little bit. Okay, one more stretch. I see a lot of people use a leg stretcher. I've used one, but these days I don't own one. So when I see it, I'm like, oh, I remember when I had one of those, but I don't now. So what you can do instead is go up against a wall, bring yourself close to it, And this is your leg stretcher. It is just gravity letting it stretch out. And you can sit there for a while, stretch as long as you want. I've been here for 5, 10, 20 minutes at times. I'm not going to do that today. But anyways, let's go ahead and close out. That's class for today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't yet, hit like and subscribe. I'm hoping to teach a lot more classes here soon. Hopefully get some more people involved. So let me know what you'd like to see, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.